Good morning, New Beginnings. It's me, Pastor Danish House. Today is Thursday, June 25th, 2020. Thanks for joining me for this daily update and devotional video. I'm glad you decided to make me part of your life today, and I'm delighted to be that you're part of my life as well. Well, I'm taking today as a sick day, so that's why this devotional is getting out there a little bit late. I woke up this morning kind of nauseous and with a splitting headache. Those continue. It's now almost noon. Those have been continuing. I slept a bunch today already and stayed in bed. But I did want to record a little bit of an update for you because some cool things are happening. And so that's why this is here. And hey, I want to first off just say happy anniversary to Blaze and Carol Ann Blayback. Blaze and Carol Ann, you're awesome. We love you. And we just want to rejoice with you here on your anniversary. Folks, if you want to wish Blaze and Carol Ann a happy anniversary, make sure you give them a call or drop them a note on Facebook or something like that. Let them know that you love them, that we're caring for them today. Tonight at 6:30 at Arlington Reformed Church is 180 Youth. 180 Youth tonight at 6:30 at Arlington Reformed Church. Also on Zoom at 7:30 is Celebrate Recovery for Women. You can check out in the church directory, give Cynthia a call, and you can get an invite to that Zoom meeting. So yesterday we did receive that check for just over $1 million, and we deposited it in our bank account. I was hoping to have a chance to hold it, but it turns out the whole thing just happened a lot more quickly than I anticipated, so I never got to hold the $1 million check. But praise the Lord, it's there. It's in our bank account, and so we're also continuing to make plans for the rebuilding of the church. Yesterday we had a meeting about that, and it was very productive, I think, and we're moving ahead. Hopefully, shortly moving ahead with demolition at the building is the plan, and our architect Dave Beckwith is working on drawings for the rebuilding, and so those are the things that are in progress right now. Just a brief devotional from Matthew chapter 20, verses 1 through 16. Specifically, you remember this story. I preached on it on Sunday, the story of the laborers in the vineyard, and the master of the vineyard goes out into the marketplace and brings back men to work in his vineyard. And so at the end of the day, just an hour before the end of the day, he goes out and he finds some people who still have not been hired, and he asks them, "Why do you stand here idle all day? Why do you stand here idle all day?" And they answer, "Because no one has hired us." It's interesting for me to record this devotional on a sick day when I'm kind of sitting here idle all day. But yeah, what I want to talk about briefly is just the goodness of work. These men have been standing in the marketplace all day wanting to work. And it isn't that they didn't want to work. They were eager and interested in working, but no one had hired them. Sometimes, we don't have work because work is not available, or sometimes the ability to work is something that's not inside our control. The Bible encourages zeal in work, and we know that we are made for work, that God, there was work for us in the Garden of Eden in the beginning. Work is not part of the sinful fall of humanity. Work is a good thing, and we also know that there's going to be work for us in glory when Jesus returns and there's a new heaven, a new earth. We know that there's work for us there as well. Work is a good part of God's creation. And I think, many of us realize that. I think most of us realize that. I think we feel that we don't want to be idle all day. We've been promoting and encouraging the idea of rest at New Beginnings over the last couple of years because we believe that God is impressing on us the need to rest in Him. But there is this pattern of work and rest that is part of every Christian's life. When you're sick, like I am today, it's a good thing to rest and to recover. It's good to have a Sabbath. It's good to take a day off. It's good to have time for a retreat. But it's also very important that we, if we're at all able to, that we be engaged in active work. That work might be work for hire. You might get paid for that work. It might be work around the house, which is also important. It might be volunteer work. Those are all ways that we can work in ways that serve other people and use the gifts that God has given us. None of us are intended to be idle all day. We need something to do. That's how God wired us up. And in this passage, the master of the vineyard goes out and hires these workers to work in the field because he wants them to be engaged in the work. Now, this is the work of the kingdom. This parable is about the work of evangelism, but it applies to other areas of our lives as well. We certainly need to be about the work of evangelism, but we also need to be about the work of using the gifts that God has given us to serve other people. That's my devotional for you today. Not really feeling up to doing a moment of silence here, but God bless you, New Beginnings. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.